In the meantime, let's take a look at News Focus number 1. 자, 첫 번째 뉴스 포커스 살펴보겠습니다. 올해 들어 현재까지 미국에서 발생한 총기 난사 사건은 모두 251건으로 집계됐습니다. 하루에 한 건 이상 발생한 셈인데요. Let's listen to the story.
A macabre statistic has emerged from the United States of America this year. More mass shootings than days on the calendar. In just over 210 days, the U.S. has suffered 251 mass shootings. It's a bleak statistic in a nation pocked by gun violence. The group responsible for keeping tally of the gruesome count defines mass shooting as an incident in which 4 or more people are killed. The two latest rampages bring the number of people killed in mass shootings in the U.S. this year to more than 520.
네, 워싱턴 소재의 비영리 단체 총격 아카이브가 낸 통계입니다. 이 단체는요, 총격 주체를 제외하고 이제 한꺼번에 4명 이상이 총에 맞는 사건을 하나의 총기 난사 사건으로 정의를 했어요. 그렇게 봤을 때 올해 이제 10며칠이 지났는데 총기 난사 사건이 250건이 넘었다고 합니다. 어마어마하네요. I think that's the meaning of the first word, in fact. A macabre statistic has emerged from the USA.
It is indeed the meaning. That word, I believe, comes from French, but is used, of course, in English, macabre, M-A-C-A-B-R-E, macabre. And if you describe something as macabre, you're saying that it is on the surface strange and or horrible, and also upsetting. But the reason for that is because it usually involves injury in a best case or death in a worst case.
네, 섬뜩한, 으스스한이라는 뜻의 macabre가 통계라는 statistic 앞에 쓰였습니다. 정말 그렇습니다. 매일매일 한 건 이상의 총기 난사 사건이 일어났는데 이 한 건이라는 게 이제 4명 이상의 피해자가 사망을 한 사건을 말합니다. In just over 210 days, the U.S. has suffered 251 mass shootings. It's a bleak statistic in a nation pocked by gun violence.
Right, we'll look at that word bleak this time, modifying statistic. And if a situation is bleak, it means that it's bad, but it also has a nuance that there's very little likelihood that the situation will improve. Now, of course, we do hope it improves in the United States, but this word bleak does give an indication that it may not.
네, 절망적이다라는 뜻이에요. 그래서 어떤 미래에 대한 얘기를 할 때 the future looks bleak 그러면은 미래가 굉장히 절망적이다라는 뜻이 될 텐데 이 경우에는 이 통계로 봤을 때 뭐가 아주 많이 나아질 것 같지 않다라는 게 좀 암시가 돼 있죠. The group responsible for keeping tally of the gruesome count defines mass shootings as an incident which 4 or more people are killed.
Right, so this time we're looking at the word gruesome. Now that's G-R-U-E, gruesome, S-O-M-E, gruesome. And something that is gruesome is extremely unpleasant and shocking.
네, 마찬가지로 이제 섬뜩하다라는 뜻이 있어요. 어떤 때는 소름 끼친다라는 뜻도 있습니다. The two latest rampages bring the number of people killed in mass shootings in America this year to more than 520.
So we do often hear that word associated with shootings. We're very often will hear a shooting rampage. Now, a rampage, in a very general sense, is an outbreak of any kind of violent behavior. It can be applied both to people and animals. We sometimes talk about animals rampaging through the wilderness. So it does describe any sort of just violent action or movement, but of course in this case it's specific violent behavior toward a shooting.
네, 광란이라는 뜻이 있습니다. 그래서 어떤 광포한 행동이라든지 이런 것들을 rampage라고 하는데 보통 총기 난사 사건 얘기할 때도 많이 등장하는 단어죠. The number of people killed, 총 이제 사망자 수를 보면은 520이 넘는다고 합니다.
And that's of course just in mass shootings. If you look at the numbers of gun deaths in the U.S., I believe that is in the tens of thousands yearly.
아하, 이렇게 대량 사살이 된 그런 총기 난사 사건에만 520명 넘게 사망을 했다고 하고요. 그냥 흔히 뉴스에서 가끔 로컬 미국 뉴스에서 보면 뭐 1대1로 슈팅
Right.
있는 것은
Or-
여기 포함되지 않은 거죠.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is 4 or more. So in any shooting involving the death of sadly 1, 2, or 3 people, that's not included in this statistic.
Right.
And those numbers are much, much, much higher.
All right, let's listen to this story one more time.
A macabre statistic has emerged from the United States of America this year. More mass shootings than days on the calendar. In just over 210 days, the U.S. has suffered 251 mass shootings. It's a bleak statistic in a nation pocked by gun violence. The group responsible for keeping tally of the gruesome count defines mass shooting as an incident in which 4 or more people are killed. The 2 latest rampages bring the number of people killed in mass shootings in the U.S. this year to more than 520.
자, 두 번째 뉴스 포커스입니다. 러시아가 북극해 지역에 전기 난방 공급을 목적으로 추진해온 첫 해상 원전의 가동 준비를 마치면서 환경 재앙을 우려하는 목소리도 커지고 있습니다. 그린피스는 이 원전이 사고에 노출될 경우 떠다니는 체르노빌이 될 것이라고 우려를 비치기도 했는데요. Let's listen to the story.
Russia is planning to launch a floating nuclear reactor as part of its plans to expedite Arctic expansion. The country claims the project will allow the decommissioning of an aging nuclear plant. Environmental groups, however, are concerned about the environmental impact of the project, using derogatory nicknames including Chernobyl on ice or nuclear Titanic. Officials behind the project have bristled at such comparisons, saying Chernobyl used different and larger reactors, and that the technology used in this case is already tried and tested.
네, 해상원전, 러시아의 해상원전은요, 이달 중 시베리아 페베크에 도착한 후 가동될 전망이라고 하는데요. 환경을 우려하는 많은 목소리들이 나오고 있습니다. Russia is planning to launch a floating nuclear reactor as part of its plans to expedite Arctic expansion.
Right, so there has been a fair amount of news about Russia's plans to expand its presence in the Arctic. This move to launch this reactor is hoped to speed that process up. And that's exactly what expedite means. If you expedite something, you cause it to be done more quickly.
네, 가속화하다라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. I think there's a site, a travel site with the word XP
Sort of.
in it,
Yes,
and then
yes.
encyclopedia added together.
Yes.
Not sure if it's related, but anyhow, if you make something go faster,
Yes.
then you expedite it. The country claims the project will allow the decommissioning of an aging nuclear plant.
Yeah, that word, to decommission something. To decommission something on the surface, in a very general sense, means to no longer use it. However, a little bit more specifically, when you decommission something like a nuclear reactor or any type of large machine, this is also sometimes used for large vessels like aircraft carriers or other similar naval vessels. It means to literally take them to pieces, to destroy them into small pieces so that they are no longer used.
네, 그렇죠. 그래서 decommission 그러면은 해체하다라는 뜻이 있습니다. 오래된 nuclear plant를 이제 해체하는 게 가능해질 것이다라고 러시아는 주장을 하고 있고요. Environmental groups, however, are concerned about the environmental impact of this project, using derogatory nicknames like Chernobyl on ice or nuclear Titanic.
Yes, indeed. So nicknames can sometimes be fun and encouraging, but sometimes they are used derogatorily. And when they are used derogatorily, we can call them derogatory nicknames. And when something is derogatory, then it expresses kind of a negative or bad opinion about something. If you make a derogatory comment or remark, then you are expressing your feelings of a low opinion about whatever you're talking about.
네, 어떤 비판적인이라는 뜻이 있습니다. 그렇지만 조금 더 강하게 말하자면은 경멸하는, 비하하는이라는 뜻이 될 수도 있어요. 그래서 체르노빌 얘기를 하면서 Chernobyl on ice, nuclear Titanic 이런 닉네임들이 나오고 있다고 하죠. 떠다니는 체르노빌 그리고 어떤 그 원자력을 쓰는 타이타닉이다. 그러니까 결국은 이제 뭐 사망할 것이다, 뭐 멸망할 것이다라는 게 좀 뉘앙스가 들어있네요. Officials behind the project have bristled at such comparisons.
Yeah, that expression actually, I think I've just underlined bristled, but probably we could go the full bristled at, because I think usually when you bristle at something, you react to it angrily. So if someone calls you a nickname, if you bristle at that, yes, you react to it angrily. And interestingly, yes, sometimes you physically move away from it. Yes, that's a very good reaction.
네, 발끈하는 거를 이제 bristle at something이라고 하는 겁니다. 이렇게 해외에서 많은 비판의 목소리가 쏟아지자 러시아 측에서는 발끈하면서 무슨 소리냐, 아니다 라고 얘기를 하고 있는 거죠. Let's listen to the story one more time.
Russia is planning to launch a floating nuclear reactor as part of its plans to expedite Arctic expansion. The country claims the project will allow the decommissioning of an aging nuclear plant. Environmental groups, however, are concerned about the environmental impact of the project, using derogatory nicknames including Chernobyl on ice or nuclear Titanic. Officials behind the project have bristled at such comparisons, saying Chernobyl used different and larger reactors, and that the technology used in this case is already tried and tested.
자, 오늘 퀴즈를 다시 한번 드리도록 하겠습니다. 순교자와 관련된 퀴즈입니다. 주시죠.
Our quiz is short and sweet with some challenging spelling, so listen carefully, everybody. People who die for their nation or beliefs are also known as blank. Would that be number one, martyrs, M-A-R-T-Y-R-S, or baristas? Number two, baristas.
네, 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 무료 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. 1부에서는 추첨을 통해 총 5분께 떡볶이 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 노래 듣고 올게요. This is Nora Jones with Don't Know Why, and when we come back, we'll look at News Focus number 3. 자, 세 번째 뉴스 포커스 살펴볼게요. 지난 14일 열린 프랑스 대혁명 기념일에 슈퍼보드를 타고 파리 샹젤리제 상공을 날았던 프랑스 발명가 프랑키 자파타가 화제였는데요. 자파타가 또 다른 기록을 세웠습니다. 자신이 개발한 비행용 보드 플라이보드를 타고 영불 해협 횡단에 성공한 겁니다. Let's listen to the story.
Frankie Zapata, whose flyboard was shown whizzing around at this year's Bastille Day in Paris, has crossed the famed English Channel. The device and his recent accomplishment have made Zapata a household name in France. He completed the 35-kilometer trek in just 22 minutes, reaching a top speed of 177 kilometers per hour. His kerosene-powered vehicle required one refueling stop, which was done from a boat in the choppy waters on the British side of the channel.
네, 영화 아이언맨이 현실 속에 등장한 모습이에요. I can't believe it. In just 20-something minutes, he crossed the channel.
Yeah, 22 minutes to go 35 kilometers. That's pretty good. I wish I could
Very
commute
good.
to the studio that quickly.
그러게요. I remember back in the 80s and 90s, before the Channel Tunnel.
Sure.
People were thinking of better ways to
Yep.
cross England, go over to France.
France, yep.
But now you can fly over, maybe.
Yes, indeed. Maybe if this gets commercialized. And just very quickly, I'll show my comic book nerdiness. Many news outlets have used Iron Man as a reference because I
네,
think he's
지금
most...
보이는 라디오로 우리가 지금 보여드리고 있습니다. As you speak, we are showing the video of Zapata flying across from France to England.
I was just going to say that as a comic book nerd, a proud comic book nerd, I would maybe use the comic book reference, the Silver Surfer. Because the Silver Surfer was actually on a flying board, whereas Iron Man just had jets in his boots. But it's, we're splitting hairs.
자파타의 플라이보드는요, 발판에 5개의 소형 제트 엔진이 달려있다고 합니다. 그리고 이 속도가 거의 190km 시속이요. 정도까지 갈 수 있다고 하는데 이번에는 한 시속 170km 정도로 날았다고 하죠. Still very, very fast. Frankie Zapata, whose flyboard was shown whizzing around at this year's Bastille Day in Paris, has crossed the English Channel.
So we'll first look at that word whizzing. Now, if something or even someone whizzes somewhere, then it means that they're moving very fast. So imagine taking your kids perhaps to an amusement park or to a water park or somewhere that they really enjoy. They're going to be running around that park having a great time. In that case, you could say the kids were whizzing around the park having a great time.
휙 지나가는 것도 whizzing이라고 할 수 있고요. 빠르게 움직이는 것도 whizzing이라고 할 수 있습니다. And the device has made, as well as his recent accomplishment, have made Zapata a household name in France.
Yes, indeed, certainly, and perhaps even around the world, he may be becoming a household name. When we refer to someone or even something as being a household name, we mean that they're very famous and they're almost sometimes synonymous with a certain category or with a certain sector. So Mr. Zapata is likely known in many places in France. He's very famous, and so we can use that expression. He's a household name. That means almost every house would know who he is.
맞아요. 그래서 누구나 다 알만한 이름을 a household name이라고 합니다. 가끔 연예인들이나 뭐 스포츠 피거들 중에
Sure.
뭐 국민 여동생,
Yeah.
국민 형,
It's a
뭐
great
국민
example.
뭐뭐뭐 이런 게
Yeah.
많잖아요. 이런 것도 다 household name이라고 표현을 할 수 있을 것 같고요. He completed the 35-kilometer trek in just 22 minutes.
He did indeed. Now, that word trek refers to a long and often difficult journey. So, in this case, 35 kilometers is not really that long, but because he was doing it on a device that he built himself,
Right.
that is relatively untested, that he's doing something that's never been done before, even though it was only 35 kilometers, I think the word trek still applies here because it was certainly difficult, and given the way that he was doing it, it was long, relatively speaking.
네, 보통은 이제 굉장히 길고 고된 여행을 trek라고 부르죠. 그래서 Star Trek는
Thank you.
우주에서의 굉장히 길고 고된 여행에 대한 영화잖아요. 그래서 여기서는 이제 자파타가 35km가 되는 뭐 어찌 보면 길고 어찌 보면 짧은 거리지만 어쨌든 쉽지는 않았을 겁니다. 그 트랙을 22분 만에 완성했다. 이런 얘기고요. His kerosene-powered vehicle required one refueling stop.
I remember when we reported on this during the Bastille Day celebrations, we were curious as to the fuel and how the fuel was stored. Presumably it's stored in the device itself, in the flyboard. But in any case, it turns out that the fuel is kerosene. And kerosene is simply a fuel that is often used in heaters, lamps, and in aircraft. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Korean that's 등유.
맞아요. 네. kerosene, 등유로 이제 에너지를 파워할 수 있는데요. It was powered by that, so you call it a kerosene-powered vehicle. 한 번은 refueling을 했다고 합니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
Frankie Zapata, whose flyboard was shown whizzing around at this year's Bastille Day in Paris, has crossed the famed English Channel. The device and his recent accomplishment have made Zapata a household name in France. He completed the 35-kilometer trek in just 22 minutes, reaching a top speed of 177 kilometers per hour. His kerosene-powered vehicle required one refueling stop, which was done from a boat in the choppy waters on the British side of the channel.
Okay, and it's time to announce the answer to the quiz.
Well, today I gave the best hint that I could think of, and that was by only spelling one of the two words. People who give their life for their countries, of course, are number one, martyrs.
네, martyr. 스펠링이 좀 특이해요. M-A-R-T-Y-R. 끝에 S 이제 복수일 때 붙이면 되겠고요. 1번 순교자를 뜻하는 게 정답이었습니다. Congratulations to our listeners who got that right. Too many people with the same name applied apparently, so we're going to have to specify some of our listeners. 우상현님 그리고 엄재영님 축하드립니다. 그리고 오늘 처음으로 문자 보내주신 김현주님, 끝번호 0340님, 그리고 6954님 모두 축하드립니다. 떡볶이 세트 보내드릴 거고요. 저희 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지에 들어오셔서 당첨자 리스트 한 번 더 확인해 주세요. 거기서 또 주소를 남겨주시면 저희가 보내드리도록 하겠습니다. 자, 월터 선생님 오늘의 표현은 뭘까요?
Well, I've seemed to have misplaced my xylophone again today, so we'll do the Derek drum roll. And we'll go back to News Focus 3. And I like that word whizzing, so let's talk about that. If something is whizzing, it means that it's moving very fast, but we use that not only for things, but also for people. And when we use that word whizzing, it's almost always accompanied by the word around. So whizzing around someplace. We could say that the kids were whizzing around, the cars were whizzing around,
Right.
the model airplanes. I've seen a lot of people these days flying model airplanes along the Hangang.
Yeah.
We can say them, or model boats in the Hangang. They're whizzing around and I enjoy watching them.
네, 뭔가 이렇게 휙 지나가는 것, 잽싸게 지나가는 것을 이제 whizzing한다. 라고 얘기를 할 수 있겠습니다. 물건도 될 수 있고요. 사람도 될 수 있고요. 오늘의 뉴스토리에서는 이 플라이보드가 하늘 위를 휙 지나갔다라고 해서 it whizzed across the channel 이라는 표현을 우리가 봤습니다. 그래서 오늘 월터 선생님의 표현은 바로 whizzing이 되겠습니다. Alright, so let's take a look at some messages. 끝번호 1191님이요. 부산은 태풍 영향인지 잔뜩 흐려 있어서 햇빛이 쨍쨍할 때보다 시원하게 느껴집니다. 게다가 수진 선생님 목소리를 오랜만에 들으니까 한결 더 시원하게 느껴지네요. 라고 보내주셨어요.
Isn't that nice to hear?
감사합니다. That's lovely. 끝번호 정민교님이요. 방학이어서 여유롭게 듣고 있어요. 근데 축구를 하다가 다리를 다쳐서 꼼짝을 못합니다. 방학인데 시간이 너무 아깝고요. 굉장히 아쉬워요. Oh no.
That's what could we say? That's Murphy's Law? You know,
Maybe.
when something bad happens when you really don't want it to.
Yeah. At least you're at home and you're able to recuperate. Get well soon and thank you so much for your message.
Yes, indeed. I hope this person makes a full and speedy recovery and that they're up whizzing around in no time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, 선생님, for your time this morning.
Always a pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Coming up in hour 2, we have 영작 극장. It's our collaboration with Easy Writing. And also, we have our music segment with Punita. Taking us into hour 2 now is a song by Taco, and it's called Putting on the Ritz. I'll see you all on the flip side.